Hi guys. Okay, so today's lesson for our problem set should be really simple. Today we're solving two-step word problems, and some of these problems are going to include multiplicative comparisons. Love that word, multiplicative. So anyway, you guys will see that today's word problems are going to be kind of quick simply because if you look at your first two problems on your problem set, they are the exact same problems that you did today in your Zern lesson. So I'm not going to make you do them twice. So we're going to skip over to number 3 in your problem set today. So I need you to make sure that you are with me on number 3 in your problem set. All right, so remember, guys, we've talked about fourth grade word problems, and I've told you that in fourth grade, it is going to be a very rare occurrence that you are ever going to have a word problem that does not have at least 2 steps to it. So anytime you come across a word problem and you only have one step, you only add, or you only multiply, or you only subtract, or you only divide, I want you to stop and ask yourself, is there another step I need to do to solve this problem? Make sure you understand what the problem is asking of you, because you will almost never have a word problem where you will only do one step. So please, 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 always, if you only think there's one step, go back, reread, because you're probably wrong. All right, so let's look at this problem here. We are going to follow the directives that you've been doing with Zern and with the other problem sets that you've done, and we're going to read, draw, write our problem so that we can solve it, and then we are going to write our final answer. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to read. Jaden has 347 marbles. Elvis has 4 times as many as Jaden. Presley has 799 fewer than Elvis. How many marbles does Presley have? All right, well, the only person that I know how many marbles they have is Jaden. And I know right here it tells me, there's no one. Right here it tells me that Jaden has 347 marbles. Elvis has 4 times as many as Jaden. So who has more, Elvis or Jaden? Elvis, of course. Jaden has 347. Elvis has 4 times that. Now, Presley has 799 fewer than Elvis. So who has more, Elvis or Presley? Well, I hope that you said Elvis, or yeah, I'm not sure how I asked that question. I hope you said Elvis has more and Presley has less, because fewer, guys, is always going to mean less than. Okay, so anytime you see that word fewer, it means that there is less than of something. Okay, so how many marbles does Presley have? Well, this is the big question. This is what I'm trying to find out, is how many marbles Presley has. So let's see what I know. I'm going to start drawing now. Well, I know that Jaden has 347 marbles. So I'm going to draw my first tape here to represent Jaden's 347 marbles. And then I know that Elvis has more than Jaden. How much more does Elvis have? He has 4 times as much as Jaden. So I'm going to make 4 boxes here. And I know that Jaden has 347. So Elvis has 347 4 times. All right, so there's how many Elvis has. Now, do I know what that total is? Not yet. That's something I'm going to have to find out. I do not know Elvis's total, so I want to find that out. Now, what do I know about Presley? Well, I know that Presley has 799 fewer marbles than Elvis. So if I draw out how many I think Presley has, And I know that however many Presley has is going to be 799 less than what Elvis has. So I have to figure out how many Elvis has before I can figure out how many Presley has. All right, so I know that Jaden had 347, and Elvis, who is who I want to figure out first, had 4 times that. So 4 times 347. 4 times 7 is going to be 28. So I'm going to put my 8 in the ones place, and I'm going to move my 2 tens over to the tens place. And then 4 times 4 tens is going to be 16 tens plus 2 more tens. So I have 18 tens. I'm going to leave my 8 in the tens place, and I'm going to take that 10 tens, and I'm going to convert it into 100. So then I have 4 times 300s, which is going to be 1200s plus another hundreds. So I'm going to have 1,300 or 1,388 marbles. Now, who has 1,388 marbles? Elvis. That's right. Elvis has 1,388 marbles. Boy, that's a lot of marbles. So now, am I done? No, because that's one step. I have another step I have to do. I need to know how many marbles Presley has. So I'm going to take the total number that Elvis has, which is 1,388. And I know that Presley has 799 fewer. So fewer means I'm going to subtract because that is less than. I'm going to subtract that 799. Now, I'm not going to subtract 9 from 8 because I don't want to deal with negative numbers. So I'm going to come over here to my tens place, and I'm going to decompose that 8. I'm going to take 1 10 away, and I have 7 tens left. I'm going to take that 10, and I'm going to give it to my ones place. So now I have 18 ones. 18 minus 9 is going to leave me with 9 ones. Now, I don't want to take 9 from 7, so I'm going to have to go to the hundreds place and decompose there. So I'm going to take 100 away, so I have 2 hundreds left, and I'm going to decompose that 100 into 10 tens. So now I have 17 tens minus 9 is going to be 8. And then I don't want to subtract 7 from 2, so I'm going to go over here and decompose again. I'm going to take my 1,000 away, so I have no thousands left. And I'm going to decompose that 1,000 into 10 hundreds. So I'm going to give that 10 hundreds to my 200s. So now I have 12 hundreds. So 12 minus 7 is going to leave me with 500. 589 marbles. So my final answer would be Presley has 589 marbles. Now, something that I would highly recommend, boys and girls, especially when you have multi-step problems, is to check yourself. Go back and add your 799 that he had fewer of, and then how many that you think he had, 589, and see if that gives you your total of 1,388. 9 plus 9 is 18. I'm going to make my 110 over here. 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 1 more is 18. I'm going to make that 10 tens into 100. I have 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 5 is going to be 13. So I have 1,388, which is what I started with. So I know my answer is correct. All right, so guys, we are going to take a look at number 4. We are not going to do the B part of this. You can do that on your own if you want to challenge yourself a little bit. But I want us to look at this tape diagram because not only is it important to be able to know how to draw a tape diagram to help us solve our problems, but we need to be able to know how to read it because if we can't read it, we can't draw it. So we're going to write an equation that would allow someone to find the value of R. Okay, so when I look at this problem, I see that I have 3 groups of 1,167. And then I see that over here I'm showing 239 less than the total of these 3 groups. So R, which is what I'm trying to solve for, R is right here, and R would be 239 less than 3 1,167s. So in order to write this as a word problem or as an equation, now remember, if I'm writing an equation, basically I'm writing a math sentence. I'm looking to write a math sentence that I can find an answer for. So I'm going to say I have 3, and I'm going to put parentheses here because I'm going to have some subtraction. So I'm going to say that I have 3 times 1,167, because that's what I have. I have 1,167 3 times. And when I figure out how much that is, I want 239 less than that. So I'm going to have to subtract. And then once I subtract that 239, that is going to tell me what R equals. So the way to write that equation would be 3 times 1,167 minus 239 equals R. All right, guys, I hope that you're getting the hang of the word problems and the multiplication. Thank you for following along and doing such a great job on your lesson today.